Hey guys, Nick here with subject2.com coming to you through Good Faith Investing. Good friend of mine, Shae Bynes. We've been doing a little, series here about Subject 2 on her site, and it's been a lot of fun. So this will be the last post, and we decided to make it. Actually, I didn't decide to make it. Shae kind of twisted my arm, virtual internet, to do a video, and because I can kind of make blogs a little bit long. So I'm going to try to summarize this up and make it real quick and not go too much further than maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Keep your attention. So one thing she wanted me to kind of focus on was going over like a wholesale subject to deal. So I'm going to do that real quick and just try to keep up with me because you're probably going to be expecting some big secret, which you're not going to get because here it is. A standard wholesale subject to deal, which is no different than any other subject to wholesale deal, I guess, really. But a wholesale subject to deal is no different than your standard wholesale deal. Okay, the only difference is the financing is already there in place. It's already existing. So all you're doing is you're getting the seller to hold the mortgage, through the existing financing that's already there, and you're just simply taking over payments. I mean, you're getting the deed and all that stuff or whatever, no big deal. But you got a purchase contract, whatever it is, and you put and/or signs on there, and then you got some assignment contract, no big deal. All you're doing is you're signing it over to somebody else. They're coming in, making it, like an investor, landlord, rehab, or whoever, whatever the case is. Doesn't matter. I even do them to retail buyers. If it's got like 80%, the fair market value is, tied up, there's not much equity left. Well, you know what? I can still cash out 5, 6, 7, 8 grand on that. No big deal. Even if it's 2,500, I'll still cash it out. The seller knows that I'm going to be wholesaling it. The seller knows that I'm going to be taking over payments until I find an end buyer, things like that. The retail buyer, investor, whoever it is, they know that it's a subject to deal. It's not a big deal. They're going to come in. They're going to make the payments. You get property under contract, you put and/or signs, like your standard stuff, no big deal. You got your subject to addendum, which is just going over your or their terms, like the mortgage, the amount that's left, the terms, the interest rate, monthly payment, things like that. Principal interest is separate from the taxes and insurance, things like that. It's no big deal. You get your assignment form, usually like a one-page assignment form. Whoever I am, is assigning to Joe, investor over here, the contract, signing dated this date or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever, your standard assignment deal. If you've done a wholesale deal or if looked into wholesale, you should know what I'm talking about. And you just assign it over. Now somebody else is there. They're in place, and all you're doing is you just cashed out of that deal with an assignment fee, and you move on. And how hard is that? It's really easy. It's not complicated, and you really shouldn't overcomplicate things. Thinking subject to is it's so hard. It really isn't. It really isn't. You're going to come across sellers that have some equity. Well, because you're doing wholesale deals. I mean, are you wholesaling deals that don't have equity? I mean, how are you doing that, right? So, if you're coming across them and you're wholesaling them, well, shouldn't you think about just asking if you can, or if the seller can, hold back the mortgage, or if you can take over the payments, subject to the existing mortgage, things like that. And I've gone over some of the questions in a previous post about that. And, if they say yes, what if they say no? Okay, fine. And, come in with, hard money loan or cash or whatever, your investor does. It doesn't matter. But, why not? Why not save your end buyer a couple of bucks because they're not going to have to come out, so say it's $100,000 house. Well, now they come in with a couple of grand, pay off your, little assignment fee, turn on electricity, things like that in their name, whatever the case is, and maybe they got a rehab, maybe they got to put 5 grand into the rehab or whatever the case is. Well, regardless of what the matter is, it's going to be a lot less than $100,000. Now, if they came out $100,000 out of their own pocket, that's $100,000 out of their own pocket. If they came in, with 30,000 of their own, and they got a hard money loan, a private money loan, or whatever the case is, for the other 70, well, I can assure you, it's going to cost them more money to do that than if they were just to use the existing financing that's already in place with the existing interest rate that's already in place. So you're really doing, not only yourself but the seller a favor, because you're saving them a lot of money by, not having to pay any of the closing costs. Sell at retail, you have to pay 6% on the realtor. All these extra things, and you're saving your end buyer a whole bunch of money because he's not having to come out of pocket a whole bunch. So there's really not a whole lot to it, other than it's your standard deal, the existing financing staying in place. That's it, plain and simple. Not a whole lot to it, and just don't be worried if you're wholesaling. Then go back through some of the other blogs, one of the other series blogs here, and I'm sure Shae will put a link up to it where I'll give you a form, and you can present that form to them. It's going to give them some options and some of the quick questions that you can ask them to see if it's a possible sub two deal. So don't be afraid to implement this into your 2010 plan. If you do, I can assure you that you'll come across several subject to possibilities. And wholesale them out, keep them for yourself. It's not a big deal. It's a lot simpler than people think it is, and it's definitely not something to be afraid of. So that's it for now. I'll do some more videos, maybe if Shae asks me to, or and I'll throw some up if she wants. No big deal. But that's it. Nick Johnson with subject2.com coming to you with Shae Bynes at Good Faith Investing, and good luck to you.